certain time that I'm going to be doing this, because I'm just going to say after 8 every week, because man, just sometimes I can't get it done when I post, when I say it's going to be at 8. Oh man, I really wanted to do it at 8 o'clock again, because last week I got the most views I ever got. But we'll see how it goes tonight. You know, life gets in the way. It's tough being a struggling streamer. But hell yeah, Locked into Lunacy, episode 13. Juggalos versus juggahos. That's what we're doing. This is the awesome Lunacy number 77, where we had Team Violent J versus Team Big Vito. Hell yeah. I hope you guys seen that. Let's get into it. Let's talk about it. We kick off the night with replays of the story that's been going on for literally about as long as I've been doing the show. Well, it's been going on a little bit longer than that, but literally the first review I ever did live on YouTube with the Locked into Lunacy was the episode where Violent J picked a guy and Vince Russo picked a guy, and if Jay lost, then he would leave JCW. That was literally my first Locked into Lunacy episode, and I wasn't doing them videos then. I think the first couple I just did audio, because I was pretty subconscious about all this crap in the background. I still am. I still probably will do green screens in the future or something, but I don't know. Some people like the live better, the video better. Just everything building up. If you watch JCW, you knew everything that was building up from Violent J and Big Vito. Violent J finding a way back into the company, being brought back actually by Vito, and then but not really being able to do much of anything when he got there, until Vince Russo's proposal. He said, hey, you put together a team, you and 2 other guys, and Vito will do the same. Whoever wins gets 50% of the company with Vince Russo. So either way, Russo wins. But yeah, man. Let's talk about the match. Let's get more into it. We start off with the match with the Brothers of Funstruction versus the Saints, which is kind of like a local tag team. I feel like it was pretty much a squash with the Saints jobbing. Hey, how's it going, Canada? The entire state of Canada, or country, I should say. Welcome. You watch JCW Lunacy in Canada? And we have next we had Big Vito cutting a promo on Violent J. Basically saying that he's gonna take them out and be the 50% owner of the company and all that stuff. Vito's awesome at all his promos that he does. We know we like Vito. I'm actually a part of his Facebook group. The live is slowly growing. Yeah, man. Thank you. That's what I'm hoping for. Okay. And so yeah, Violent J gives a pep talk to his team, talking how important this is for everybody. Yeah, Violent J is talking to Too Tough Tony and Willie Mack, talking to them about how important it is that they win this, because if they don't, they could very well all be out of a job and all be out of the company. So it was a good little moment there. Then the next match we had was Broke Ass Briar Wellington versus Disco Ray. Disco Ray is quickly becoming a fan favorite, I think, in JCW, especially with the addition of the Ring Rat. Very visually pleasing woman. This is also pretty much just a squash match, but Wellington does do a little bit more than the Saints did against the Brothers of Construction. We finally get to see Disco Ray's finisher, Panic at the Disco, which is basically backwards Russian leg sweep. It's good to see Disco Ray winning the match, getting out of that jobber position. I'm glad he's getting a little bit of a push because of the love from the fans. Hell yeah, man. I said this last week, but it keeps coming up every time I talk about Disco Ray. But if you guys want to see an awesome interview with Disco Ray, go check out the House of Grim podcast right here on YouTube. They're awesome. Just for a podcast about indie wrestling in general. They're who to go to, especially for JCW stuff. Then we have Caleb Conley cutting a promo about Matt Cross. So Matt Cross was hired, going back a little bit, by Vince Russo to take out Kerry Morton. And then when he was done with that, he's like, what do I do now? I want to be the next big guy in JCW. Vince Russo's like, in order to be the next big guy in Vince Russo, you got to beat my guy, Caleb Conley. And so, and if you don't, the stipulation was that if he didn't, then he had to leave JCW. He was fired. The views just hit double. All right, Canada. You gonna subscribe? It'd be a lot cooler if you did. All right. And so he loses to Caleb Conley. A very impressive match. Very impressed with how Caleb Conley's been doing in JCW as of late. So that was really impressive. He gets fired. He leaves. He comes back the next week as Suicide, as Caleb Conley very humorously faces off against Suicide, because as we all, or as most of us know, that Suicide in JCW is actually Caleb Conley for the most part. But this match where he was facing off against Caleb Conley, it was Matt Cross. And they were hinting, I talked about it last week, they were hinting the whole time that it was somebody that was going to be unmasked and stuff like that. It was pretty humorous. But if you want to see my review on that match, check out last week's Locked into Lunacy. But yeah, basically Caleb Conley and Matt Cross have a growing rivalry now. So he's calling him out on all that shit. And we'll talk about that later on in the review. And then we got an ad for the Deep Cut podcast, which looks like a cool, like, indie horror movie kind of podcast. I'm interested in seeing that, man. It looks kind of cool. The guys look kind of funny and cool. And then we also get an ad for the Shaggy Show. Have you guys heard about this guy, Shaggy 2 Dope? Apparently he's a juggalo or something. Nah, come on, man. We all know who Shaggy is. We all know what the Shaggy Show is, man. Freaking awesome. I'm kind of behind on my Shaggy shows, but anytime it's on, and I'll watch it. You know, it's kind of just him messing around. But it's pretty entertaining. That also reminds me, if you guys are not, go subscribe over to Manny Fresh. He's got a cool podcast stuff over there. That's the driver of Shaggy 2 Dope, the guy that helps him on the Shaggy Show. He also has his own stuff going on over on his YouTube channel. Go check out Manny Fresh. Then we got J-Rod versus Big Al. J-Rod wants Big Al to put up her #1 contendership, and she does, but with the stipulation that if Big Al wins, then J-Rod has to kiss her ass. And it's a pretty good match that we have. Big Al ends up winning, and it looks like J-Rod's going to kiss her ass. Then we get an uppercut. Boom. Right to the ovaries. Right to the baby maker. As Ron Burgundy would say. And then we got Vito talking to Stephen Flo backstage about joining the team. And Stephen Flo's like, nah, a couple times. Like, I don't know. But then all of a sudden, like, he's all in after the conversation. And we just get a heel turn, which we'll talk about later a little bit in this promo. We had more They're Coming promos from the Green Phantom and Father Bronson. And man, I can only talk about how cool these promos are for so long, but I'm honestly getting sick of them. Just let these guys freaking come to JCW already. We don't need to see however many weeks of promos for these guys. We got Caleb calling out Cross. Oh, and getting a lot of heat from the fans. I like how we can have like heel versus heel. You don't really see that in a lot of wrestling companies where two heels will face each other or have rivalries and shit. I think that's really cool. But yeah, as he's calling out Matt Cross, he's also dissing the crowd and getting heat at the same time. Matt Cross, dressed like a cameraman, attacks him from behind, as Matt Cross character, the cowardly heel, kind of likes to do. Then he gets taken out of there by security, and Vince Russo coming down. Caleb's able to get a couple shots in. I like this rivalry, and maybe in the future they could have some kind of well, obviously they could have some kind of match, but I'm thinking like they could make allies between Caleb Conley and Kerry Morton over their shared hatred for Matt Cross. Would be kind of cool. Last we saw Kerry Morton, he returned back last week, not on the main Lunacy show, but on the Panic Zone. He was on that. But we haven't seen him back on main Lunacy in a while, so a couple weeks. So hopefully we'll see him back on Lunacy real soon. I miss me some Kerry Morton and that sweet, sweet Southern Six theme song. And then we got Team Vito beating down Team J backstage, and Stephen Flo does join in on the beatdown on that. So at that point, we got fully Stephen Flo at a heel turn. It was looking like we weren't going to get the heel turn right away. We had a couple weeks of build up towards it. More than a couple, but you know what I mean. Wasn't that many weeks towards it. But it started out with Stephen Flo just saying that he didn't want cocaine to help him out every single time he was in trouble. He wanted to kind of do it on his own. And it looked like last week they were kind of still friends and everything. And it looked like, he just kind of wanted to stand on his own a little bit more and wasn't going to turn heel, but we did finally get the eventual heel turn that we saw coming. We get the blast from the past. We got Briar Wellington back when he was Richie Boy, Briar Wellington. And he was facing off against Rikishi. And Rikishi wins in a decent enough match. Yeah. Blast from the past. Can we show like awesome matches? Because like a lot of the time recently, I think I'm feeling like the blast of the past. It's kind of cool that we see like wrestlers from the past, but at the same time, I don't feel like we're seeing the greatest of matches in them. You don't have any better matches in your archive than like a squash match, really. Uh, so it's just interesting. I don't know how they pick what goes into the blast of the past. Is it just random? I feel like it's kind of random. Then we got Team Vito versus Jay. This Team Jay, the main event of the evening. Team Vito comes out, and Vito calls out Vince Russo and says that he should just give him the 50% owner contract right now because Team Jay's forfeited because they're not coming out because obviously they were beat down right before then. Vince Russo comes out and says that he's built a new team to replace Team Violent J to fight for Violent J's side, and that's the team of Cocaine, Nick Nemeth, and the JCW Lunacy champion, Mr. Anderson. Yeah. They come out defending the honor of Violent J, and they end up winning it. Jay ends up coming out. They end up winning it by Jay coming out, and he's all bloody and everything. Hits Big Vito with the rolled up chain, and then Nick Nemeth pins him for the win. Yeah, pretty awesome finish. Everybody comes out and celebrates all the faces and everything. Vince Russo comes out, watches on from the stage. Violent J gives him the thumbs up, and yeah, pretty awesome. So now, future storylines going on from this. We got 50% ownership by Vince Russo, 50% ownership by Violent J, which is actually who actually owns JCW. Both Violent J and Vince Russo right now. And that leaves us wondering what Big Vito's role is going to be in the future at JCW. We know that Violent J put in the stipulation that when Big Vito lost, that he would have to wear Juggalo merch and clown shoes and dance to Insane Clown Posse while drinking Faygo. So that's probably coming next week on Lunacy. We got Stranglemania coming up. So awesome stuff. So my final thoughts were it was a pretty good Lunacy. We were all super stoked about the main event. It was pretty much the only thing to take away here was the main event. A lot of ups and downs with that, with them getting hyped up, with Team Violent J getting hyped up and then getting beat down backstage. We got the heel turn from Stephen Flo, and then we had him face off against his friend or former friend in Cocaine in the main event. I feel like that's a rivalry that's going to go on more. Yeah, man. As usual, there's just 1,000 ways they can take this. I'm very interested to see what Jay and Russo do, both in character and out of character behind the scenes of JCW. And let's keep showing them some love. Whoop, whoop to all my juggalos out there. Keep subscribing. I'm going to keep making shorts with the Juggalo Monster. You guys don't know, I have a puppet named Juggalo Monster. He's a blue monster Muppet looking guy with an ICP hat. So go check him out. If that's something you like, I have more of that over on TikTok. On my TikTok, at PickleRick89. I'll put all my links to all my different social media in the description below. I hope you guys have an awesome night and stay wicked, y'all. Whoop, whoop. Thanks for watching. And don't worry if you missed it. It's going to be a YouTube video. So, all right. Have a good night, y'all. Peace.